my tissue has a lot of graphite on it now, and I dusted over some of the highlights that I had. Just know that if you're using a tissue to blend over things, lifting them back up with the eraser is really easy. They lift up with no problem, so keep that in mind. I need to commit to this area, and I will use the term commit for layering some of my darkest value. It's when I put a value down that's so dark that if I were to erase it, it wouldn't lift up all the way. It would scar my paper, it would leave a trail. So usually when I'm teaching, I will say, don't commit to your darkest dark. Hold it back in reserve and wait till you're really confident about the shape, size, proportion, relationships of everything in your drawing before you really push that final coat of graphite onto your paper. Either that, or if you go too dark at first, you just usually regret it, end up erasing way too much and leaving a bunch of trails and scars. So that's why I say I'm ready to commit. I'm putting down a lot more darks, and that's what I mean by that.
So now I need to sharpen up a few more edges. The difference between good and great are your edges, so watch out for them. Anything that's in focus and very sharp, where one value ends and another begins, you'll need to sharpen those. And as you blend, they get hazy. So at the bottom of the bulb, I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this up. I'm not putting a big, hard, dark outline. I'm going to try to just give this an edge and then blend with my graphite. Just add a little bit more graphite so that it's an edge and it's not a line. So because this is a transparent glass bulb, I'm basically recording the shadow it's casting underneath of it. So I see its own shadow through it, which is strange, and that's why it kind of can be perplexing to beginners and just new artists that, yeah, it is really dark within that space. And if you don't get it to be dark, there's no way to make your highlights look white. It's hard to make something look white on a piece of white paper, so you have to darken what's around it to give it that contrast. So if there's a reason your highlights aren't as strong in your drawing as they are in the reference, most likely you need to lower the value in the areas that you've established. Eventually. I don't recommend going as dark as you can go right away because it may be the wrong mark to make, but as I slowly progress through this drawing, I'm committing a little bit more to those dark areas. I'm layering and feeling better about it, and my highlights are slowly standing out a little bit more. I'm trying to uncover some of those areas I blended over. I think I'm going to add a little bit more graphite to some dark areas. Feeling like I can commit now. Feeling a little bit better about how many highlights I have. And keeping my pencil sharp is a struggle because now I need the sharp tip. You can see that I'm holding it very different. I'm holding it more of in a writing style because I'm going straight into that sharp edge. And as some of my students say, I'm keeping it nice and crispy. They'll say those sharp edges are crisp edges. So sometimes they'll say crispy. I think it's funny. So I just, get down in that little spot, try to make that bulb have the illusion that it is round and it's standing up a little bit from the paper. And I gotta get the shadow in here to make it feel that way. It's a really important little shadow. I keep going back to it. Okay, I've put off this detail inside this bulb for long enough. I've mapped out some of it, some of the big spots. But detail is like dessert. Try not to jump right to it when you first start. And I'm just gonna try to get the impression of some of these shapes. So I'm not a human copy machine, and I don't really draw in the way that allows me to be a human copy machine. Maybe if I drew it huge and gridded it out, I would get all those little details in there, but I'm just going to capture that impression. I think I need to leave some highlights in there. I think I need to scatter them out, not make them too uniform, and give the impression that there's a little bit of wiring inside of there that's catching some light. Just trying to record the value, the contrast, and the shape and size. Any space that I need to shade that's smaller than a quarter, I'm going to go for my blending stick. Any area larger than a quarter, I'm going to try my best to use the tissue. My blending stick will leave directional lines and streaks if it's used in a really large area. So that's usually my tip for where to use which. All right, this little area I noticed that I don't have the edge right in here. I needed it to be a little sharper and a little lighter. I blended and got it too dark. So I'm going to go back with my eraser and lift up some of that graphite that I put down with a tissue, which is super easy to erase, by the way. When you blend with a tissue, it just lifts right up. That's why you can draw with your eraser so easily. So I just smoothed that edge down a little bit, and because I have made some areas darker and committed to my low-key values, it's starting to make some areas look too light. So that happens a lot in drawing. You darken an area and then all of a sudden these other areas look too light and you have to go and give them more coats of graphite. So it is a domino effect, and it shouldn't surprise you after a while that happens. So I'm going to go back and give a few coats of graphite to some of these other areas. I still see some areas that I know aren't perfect, but I'm just not a human copy machine. It's hard to keep everything exactly perfect and also have a human touch to it. So if you are able to do that, I just applaud you and respect you and wish that I could, but I know that I can only get it so far in the amount of time I have. But I hope that you'll give me grace, and I hope that you gain something by watching the process. Y'all, I hope that watching me work on this, in a lot of cases struggle on this, has helped and maybe given you a little more confidence in approaching an object that you don't feel altogether comfortable with. If so, please like the video. Please share it with a friend who you know loves to draw and wants to get better and get a little more practice. Let me know what object that is glossy, see-through, glass that you have tried and how it went, and any tips that I need to cover in another video. Just leave in the comments below and I would love to share those out. I hope you guys have a blessed day and I hope you have great drawings ahead of you.